It happened in Chicago, in Maggie Daley Park. You know, that huge park with bridges, slides, and bright playgrounds. It was summer, early evening, the sun already soft but still warm. People were sitting on the grass, some with pizza straight from the box. Kids were shrieking on the swings, and somewhere in the distance, the Navy Pier Ferris wheel was slowly turning above the city. I'm standing by the sandbox, my 7-year-old son next to me. I'm his mom. He's not a little toddler anymore, but still at that age where you can honestly zone out on a toy truck and not think about anything serious. We'd bought him this bright yellow dump truck on purpose, heavy, almost like a real one. It was his pride. He hauled sand in it, built roads, bridges, some kind of his own Chicago highways. He's sitting in the sand, and there are a couple more kids nearby. A girl with a bucket and a boy with plastic molds. Everything is peaceful. Nobody is grabbing anything, they're sharing the molds, discussing where the parking lot is going to be. And then she walks onto the playground. A woman of about 35, in a tracksuit, perfect ponytail, Starbucks cup in her hand, sunglasses on even though the sun is already slipping behind the skyscrapers. Next to her trudges a little boy of about 5 in a t-shirt with a dinosaur on it, clearly her son. He's very quiet, a bit tense, clutching some soft toy to his chest. They stop by the sandbox. He stares at our yellow dump truck as if he's just seen the meaning of life. But he's silent, just standing there and looking. The mother takes a step forward without even saying hello to anyone. "Honey, you want that truck?" she calls out loudly for everyone to hear. Her boy fidgets. "Well, it's cool, but it's not ours." She doesn't even listen. Her eyes slide over the kids like they're items on a store shelf. "Kids, you have to share toys. This is a playground, not private property." And she reaches straight for my son's truck, just grabs it and starts pulling it toward her boy. I freeze for half a second. My son looks up at her. "Hey, that's my truck." And that's where the classic scene begins. She looks down at him like he's some insolent adult. "You can share, can't you? He's younger, he really wants to play. What are you, selfish?" I step in. "Excuse me, but the toy is his. If he doesn't want to give it up, that's his right. And by the way, your own child doesn't have anything with him at all?" She sighs so theatrically you could sell tickets. "We just got here. He's tired. He had a hard day. And you don't teach your son to share?" My son looks at me, then at her, then at the truck. It's obvious how uncomfortable he is. He's not yelling, not throwing a tantrum. I don't mind letting him play, but he should ask. Properly. Not like this. And then the most interesting thing happens. Her own child quietly tugs at her sleeve and whispers, "Mom, don't. I can do without the truck." There's so much embarrassment in his voice, like he's ashamed of her. She jerks her arm away without even looking at him. "Stop it! You always give everything away and end up with nothing. Someone has to think about you besides me." Then she turns back to me. "You're an adult. Is it really so hard to just say, 'Of course, take it'?" By that point, I'm already boiling inside, but I try to stay polite. What's hard is teaching kids that they can just take other people's things, and if someone objects, you label them selfish. The toy is ours. If you want, your son can ask himself, properly, like a human being. My son will decide whether to share or not, but you are definitely not going to take it like this. She squints. "You know, people like you are a big problem in this country. Everyone only thinks about themselves. Zero empathy." And she reaches for the truck again, rough this time. And then my son does something I did not expect. He gently pulls the dump truck away, sets it behind his back, looks her straight in the eyes and says, very clearly, "You're behaving badly, not like a grown one for me." The silence that falls is so deep you can hear the swings creaking somewhere off to the side. And suddenly her own boy, the quiet one with the dinosaur, blushes and exhales. "Mom, seriously, you're being weird right now. You can just ask. I told you." That comes from a child, a 5-year-old, with the kind of desperation that tells you this is not the first time. She turns to him, not believing her ears. "Whose side are you on anyway?" He presses his lips together and stares down at the sand. And you know that look kids get when they're not ashamed of themselves, but of their parents. Awkward, tense, that one. By now, everyone around has gone quiet. The parents building things in the sand with their kids pretend to be busy, but of course they're listening. Someone's gaze slides from her, to the boy, to me. I speak as calmly as I can, even though everything inside me is boiling. You see, your child knows what's right all by himself. You're not just taking a toy away. You're taking away his chance to feel like a normal, decent person. She snorts. Oh, of course, now you're a psychologist too. But her voice isn't as confident anymore. She finally lets go of the toy. My son puts the truck back in the sand and suddenly turns to her boy. Do you want to roll it together? Just ask, that's all. Can I please? Just for a bit? You can, my son says. Just don't dig at the wheels or they'll break. And the two of them wander off into their little construction project, as if no adult fight ever happened here. She's left standing there, extra on her own stage. Empty Starbucks cup in her hand, her gaze darting around as if she's looking for someone else to go off on. But everyone has already turned away. No one is impressed by her fight for her child. No one nods in sympathy. Her son laughs in the sand, rolling the truck, and every now and then he throws her quick, anxious glances, as if checking whether she's about to start again. I watch this scene and catch one simple thought. This is how those infamous entitled moms are born, with the certainty that my child deserves the best, somehow always from someone else's things. Only sometimes, right next to them, a child is growing up who can see for himself that this isn't normal. A child who blushes for his mom, not with pride for her. And what struck me most in that moment wasn't her rudeness. It was the way her own son squeezed his dinosaur when he said, "Mom, don't." That was the voice of a person who already understands. He doesn't need a world his mother tears out of other people's hands with her teeth. He needs a world where it's enough to just ask like a human being. And honestly, it felt like the real adult in that situation was definitely not her.